You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature.
Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. A little different video today, not in the regular studio. I'm in my kitchen, and this is my view of the waterfall. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but I showed how I built it and did some update videos now that all the greenery has come in. It's really nice to sit out there in those chairs and listen to the waterfall. So today I thought stovetop popcorn. I've been working on this method for quite some time. I am using Amish country popcorn, and then I'm also going to do Orville Redenbacher. Now, Orville Redenbacher is one that I normally don't use, but if you have that in the house, it still will work, so I want to show you that as well. I usually can get the popcorn to about less than 10 unpopped kernels, so we'll see if we can get that done today. So let's move over to the stove. We'll do the Orville Redenbacher first, and I'll show you exactly how to make the best stovetop popcorn. Alright, so basically I use olive oil. You can use any oil you want. I've used avocado oil, coconut oil, bacon grease. It just really depends on what you have and what you like. As long as it's a low smoke type of oil, they work good. You shouldn't have a problem using this method though with any oil. So first I do a 1 cup of popcorn, depending on the kernel you want to use. This one here is Orville Redenbacher, which is not my favorite. I really think the kernels don't come out as crunchy with Orville Redenbacher. Seem to have changed over the years. So about a cup there. You don't have to worry about turning the gas on or anything like that yet. And then I do 1/3 cup of olive oil. And I fill it right to the rim. Okay, so now let's get this in the pot. Alright, that is my stove backdrop. I installed that. It's basically a sheet of glass, and it works pretty good. So let's get everything in the pot. Now you don't have to worry about the gas just yet. You want to get everything in there. And you will see why. I think I want to do a dash more olive oil. Normally I do it over the pot and I go right over the edge of the cup, especially with these larger kernels. I'm just going to do a little bit more. Alright, now you turn the gas on, and I'll show you that. You want to turn it on medium, low. I'll show you about how high that is. Okay, so about that high, and what you want to do is just keep it at that heat the whole time. You don't want to go super high. And now what I do is I will stir this as the oil starts to break down a little. I'll show you that, and I'll mix it up. Okay, so right now the oil's a little thick. So you want to just keep moving this around. And you want to cook it low and slow, and what that does is it allows all the kernels to heat up. And if you put the gas on high, what's going to happen is the flame comes out to the outside edge and you're going to have burnt popcorn. It's just too hot. Now sometimes, depending on what I do here, I may turn up the gas just a little, but we're going to get this to where it starts sizzling, and then we're going to wait till that first few pops. Once it gets the first few pops, then I put the lid on, you'll see, and then I wait. So we're slowly heating up the kernels, which is what you want to do. Too much heat too fast, they don't all pop very well. So it'll be sizzling soon. I'll just zoom in so you get the sizzle. You'll see it. It's starting to sizzle on that left corner. Get the lid ready. Every once in a while I'll just come over, give it a little stir, so it's the ones on the outside maybe go to the inside, and the ones on the inside go to the outside. Now if you want to do a smaller pot, like a 1/2 cup, just divide everything in half. 1/2 of a third and 1/2 of a cup. It's sizzling pretty good now. You're going to see one just pop, and then I'll wait a little bit longer before I put the lid on. Now, how many times do I make popcorn in a week? Probably 3 times a week I make popcorn. I go through a lot of popcorn. And over the years, I've developed this method. I used to just put the gas on real high and try to get it done as quick as possible, but that just doesn't work. as well. I mean, it'll work, but you'll usually get the burning. So now all the kernels are slowly coming up to temperature. They do change colors too. It's that first pop that's crucial. There you go. So it's not, you can wait for a few more, then you put the lid on. After this, then you don't have to touch it anymore. There's always one that seems to pop before all the others. Okay, now we're good. Now what you want to do is just put the lid on and leave it and listen. Let me adjust the camera here. Okay, so now you just listen. You listen for the little high ting of the kernels hitting the top or the side. And at some point, you're not going to need to keep the lid on. You'll take the lid off. You still hear that little ting? It's usually to say about here. Then normal kernels will pop out of the pot. If the lid was off now, they would be flying everywhere. Hear that ting up here? It's close. There's still a ting. Okay, right about there. You want the lid off because you don't want the steam in there. Now when it gets to about here on your pot, you just turn off the gas and it'll keep popping, but nothing will burn. Nothing should burn. Okay, so right about here, I just turn the gas off. Now watch, it'll keep popping. If you leave the lid on, what happens, all the steam gets in your popcorn and it makes it mushy. And just let it go for about a minute. We'll see how many you have unpopped. Now I normally don't do Orville Redenbacher, so if there's a lot, it could just be that kernel. Okay, we got it. Now we transfer it to the big bowl. Still popping. Actually, let me melt some butter for you. Okay, so for for a quarter of a cup of popcorn, I usually use 3/4 of a stick of butter. Now you can do more, you could do less. It doesn't take long to melt once it's in this little pot. So let's melt that. You might hear a pop or two, but I think we got most of it. We'll see when we get there. We'll pour it out. Now usually I'm melting the butter while I'm doing the popcorn so that it's ready to go, but didn't do it this way. Now if you're watching it, you could put the gas up higher, but if you're just leaving it, put it as low as possible and just slowly melt it. Now if you're waiting for the popcorn to actually stop popping, you can turn the gas off here because there's enough heat in there to melt those 3 little chunks. Alright, gas off. Let's put it in the bowl. Alright, so I dump some in first. And I butter that. Basically, I just swirl it around the popcorn. Okay, then I mix that with a little salt. More popcorn. And more butter. A little salt. Mix that. Now you don't have to put any butter or any salt, really. Or other seasonings. Okay. And then now more of the popcorn. Once I get to the bottom, we'll do the rest with the spoon so we can see how many unpopped kernels there are. Oh, one just slipped in. Alright, I'll do the rest with the spoon. I'd say it's pretty good as far as unpopped kernels. Oh, I got a couple in there. Okay, so what do we have? We have maybe 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 unpopped kernels, which is pretty good. That's always my goal. Well, my goal is none, but now I'll finish putting the rest of the butter on. And this batch is ready. Little salt. It is a lot of popcorn. And then sometimes I can mix it around. You're going to lose some, but there you go. There's batch 1. All right, let me do the other popcorn. You can see the difference. All right, so the pan is hot. That might make a little difference, so I'm going to do the butter. We'll get that on low. Lowest setting. And now a cup of this other popcorn. It's a much smaller kernel. I would say it's close to half the size of the Orville's. Nah, maybe just a quarter size. Don't worry about the heat, like I said. Here's what I normally do now. I'll just go to right when it peaks the top. Right there. Okay, gas on low. Low, medium. Medium low. See, when you first do it, all the kernels are not coated with the oil. It's got to melt the oil just a little. Heat it up, I mean. I follow the same method. I'll leave the butter in view for now. Same system, just let it slowly heat. There's no rush. Well, while that's going, I'll just put away some stuff in the kitchen. I'm always cleaning as I'm working, so. This is my favorite popcorn. The kernels are a little smaller when they come out, and they just have a, what you would call, very crispy crunch to them. Okay, it's starting to bubble. There's always one that pops way ahead of the other ones. While that's going on, I wash everything in the sink, so by the time I'm done, I'm ready to eat popcorn. Get the lid over here. Okay, so this here, I could just leave this now. I don't have to worry about that last chunk. So I'll turn the gas off. That's ready to go. Let's focus on the popcorn. Now, if I had the window open, you'd be hearing the waterfall in the background. Let's see if you can hear the difference. Window open. Neighbor's also cutting the lawn across the street. Right when I start a video, that's when he decides to cut the lawn. Again, that's about where the heat is. It's not too high. I'll turn it up just a skosh. Ooh, we had 3. Okay. Lid goes on. Now it's going to be consistent. So here again, you want to listen. Still very tangy. Close. There's a ting. Okay, you can peek. When it gets to about here on this pot, I turn it off. Okay, now you can turn the gas off. Again, it's important to leave the lid off. There's all this steam coming off. You leave the lid on, the steam traps in there, and it's going to make your popcorn chewy. I think we got it. Any more? One more. One more pop. That's it. Alright, let's head over. I'll move this one to the bowl. Alright, this time the window's open so you hear the waterfall. Popcorn. Butter. Salt to your taste. Mix. Now with the window open, the humidity is also going to change your popcorn. And normally I wouldn't do that. I'm close to using the spoon. I used the spoon so I could see. I'm making sure not many kernels, if any, drop through. Alright, time for a spoon. I think a kernel just dropped. We got to count that one kernel right there, but I like those crispy ones. Let me grab the spoon. So here's what didn't pop. There's two more in there. So what do we get? Besides the one that dropped in, about 2, 4, 6, 8. So 9 kernels didn't pop. I'd say that's pretty good. And that's the consistency I get every time. Alright, now it's time to taste them. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so you can see the Orville Redenbacher almost has a yellow hue to it. I know the bowl is kind of orangish yellow. This one is a little lighter and whiter. Let's try this one here. It should still be crispy based on... it's a little spongy. Like I said, Orville Redenbacher, the kernels have changed over the years. Now let's try this one. It's crispy all the way through. I like this one more. I'll use this one if I don't have those kernels, and I'll switch to the old Redenbacher. But there's just something about it. It's good. Got a light butter to it. For me, it's a light butter. They're just crispy. Maybe it's just because the kernels are bigger. I don't know. All right, there you go. That is the method. I'll put all the information in the description for you. Again, if you want to cut that in half or cut that in half again, depending on your pot size, you can, and it should come out the same. Just follow the heating method and the lid. It might take you a few times in your pot to get comfortable with it, but once you get it, you're going to have perfect popcorn every time. And thanks for watching, everybody. Later! If you're looking for the item you just saw in the video, click here. Watch more videos by clicking here. Don't forget to share on social media and give a thumbs up.
Hey, LPS Dave.
What's up, Butch?
Make sure they don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, please click here to subscribe to Lucky Penny Shop. And always remember, when you see a lucky penny,
Pick it up.